Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest expansion-packed episode of the Switch It Up Show. I am your host today, Seth Trav, and it has been a solid minute since we have heard from our friend Glenn.
How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing okay. Not as well as you. I know you were away for a good few days.
A little bit.
In fact, having that Disney vacation time of your life.
Still surviving, my man. Still surviving. One day at a time.
That's as we do, ladies and gentlemen. But today's episode is going to feature a game that we have to struggle to survive in as well. Let's see how it plays right after we listen to these sweet, sweet beats. Anamanaguchi, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to look them up anywhere you can listen to music. The first game today we're going to be talking about is Apple Slash. It is $4.99, and you get 25 gold coins when you buy it digitally, and it is available now. Take aim and start slashing. Repel an invasion of mysterious, charming creatures in a vast, murky marshland. Strike your foes in a godlike slash-based manner and experience ambiguous encounters brimming with personality. In Apple Slash, you play as the mighty Apple Knight, wielding his powerful slashing sword, where you embark on a quest of creatively designed combat. Featuring innovative attack mechanics, combine one swing with multiple skills using your rotating blade. As you explore, you'll find and combine various skills scattered around the swamp with your aim to deal powerful attacks. It features godlike slash-based combat, befriend charming creatures, acquire powerful destructive skills, roam freely in a vast ancient marshland, memorable encounters, and challenges. It's from our friends over at Retaliaca Games and Agel Agelvik. And it's rated E10 for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Apple Slash is a very classic sort of RPG action-based game where you run around this swamp that looks an awful lot like Undertale, and you essentially just slash your way through various red-colored things that look sort of like apples, and you get power-ups as you move along. The game itself, ladies and gentlemen, is about 30 to 45 minutes long. You could probably play it in that amount of time, maybe a full hour. So the game is very, very short. So short, in fact, that by the time you beat the first boss and get moving into what would seem like the rest of the adventure, the game's over. It was a little harsh stop for me. I felt like there was definitely more game there, and they could have extended it more, but I just hope that they would be able to push out a second Apple Slash, one with possibly better graphics, because this looks like, again, Undertale or a classic Game Boy game almost. Or anything you would find on a standard Nintendo. The game overall is fun, though. It does have some interesting encounters with characters, and you get to have a few unique little secrets, if you will. For the purposes of the review, I played this on the PS5. I think the trophies did help, and that was the only reason I felt the need to go back into the game after my initial 45 minutes was up, just so I could finish getting the one last trophy that would let me get the platinum. Again, it took about 45 minutes to an hour for me to do it. I don't know if it would take you less time or more, probably less, depending on your age. I think that this is a perfect game to sort of bring people into a Zelda-ish style of gameplay where you have to run around and find chests and things. And it's also got an interesting, fun kind of humor to it. The music in this game is absolutely stellar. There are only 3 tracks that I noticed, maybe 4, including this one secret thing that you can find. I don't want to spoil the only things to spoil in the game. But the music that is present is very, very good. So good, in fact, that I wanted to look it up and find it and download it myself just to spin a little bit more. But, ladies and gentlemen, overall, Apple Slash being such a short game, having the graphics that it does, however, maintaining its fun playability, makes this game a solid 4.25 out of 5.
High praise, my man. High praise. Good score all around. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep that going with my game, which is going to be Phantom Abyss over on Steam. We are switching it up with this one, and this is currently Windows only. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of the synopsis. Phantom Abyss is a massively asynchronous multiplayer game that casts players into procedurally generated temples and tasks them with retrieving sacred relics hidden within deadly chambers. Intrepid adventurers will dodge scores of hidden traps, leap treacherous chasms, and flee relentless guardians through branching paths until one of the relics are claimed or the devices of death overwhelm them. But be warned, you only get one attempt at each temple, and failure or settling for a lesser relic means you will never see that temple again. The cleverest players will use the phantom runs of failed attempts from other players to their advantage and avoid the missteps and mistakes that led to their doom. Once the legendary relic at the bottom of the temple is found, that temple goes away forever and becomes the priceless trophy of the skilled adventurer. So again, this game is currently available on Steam for Windows. It is on sale right now. It is 25% off, and you can pick it up for $18.74. It's normally $24.99. Normally, I'm not a big fan of these procedurally generating games, but this is a really cool idea. Basically, it is kind of like a mix between like Legends of the Hidden Temple and Indiana Jones. Every single time you fire up this game, you are put into a procedurally generated temple or one that has been generated and not been defeated before. And what happens is it's a first-person game. You have like this cool like whip in your hand that you can use to like grapple on to different things. You can do wall runs, all types of cool jumps, and you're working your way through this temple to gain these relics. And you can see if you are in a temple that someone has failed at before but is yet to be beaten, you can see kind of like the ghost. Think like Mario Kart time trials. You know, you can see that ghost of the people as they're running and going through and collecting treasure on their way to get the final relic. And these temples are divided into different sections to kind of let you know, like, all right, you've passed the first level of it. Now we're descending deeper into the temple until you finally go through and get the relic. It's really, really, really cool. The graphics on this are like spot on. This would be amazing if it was on the Switch. I feel like it would be great to play handheld. It's great. It's full of different booby traps. There's lasers, there's swinging blades, there's like spikes that pop out of the ground. There's even like some like Destiny style weird monsters that are in here. It's just really, really cool. So it's like a mix, like I said, of Indiana Jones, and maybe even I throw in like a Saw, because there's like some of these crazy type traps that are in there. And if you die, that's it. You don't get to try that temple again. And the game makes it like a real big deal when you enter a temple that no one's ever been before. The whole screen like shakes, like almost like it's something like a silhouette is like moving, and it's like, you are the first adventurer. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, like it just ramps it up. And it's neat because like every time you go in there, you're doing something that no one has ever done before, you're attempting something that no one's ever completed, or you're seeing something brand new for the first time. So because of that, like it can be difficult, but it can also be super rewarding when you finally make it to the end and claim one of the relics. And the graphics on this are really, really good. They nail the aesthetic that they're going for with the whole like temple thing, and even like the icon that they're using on the Steam page has like legends in it, and then it says of the Phantom Abyss, and they're using like an icon that looks just like one of the pendants of life from the Hidden Temple. So they're very much aware of like, you know, what they're doing and like what their audience is. But I really, really love this game. The graphical requirements for it seem to be on a little bit of the higher side in terms of like a processor for a Windows computer, but you can play it if you have a 1060 graphics card, so you don't have to have like the fanciest card in the world to play this game. But it's first person perspective. I had a lot of fun with it. I think for $18.74, it's totally worth it. It's definitely on the higher price point than what I typically tend to be like enthusiastic about. But I mean, if you want a treasure hunting, like going through a temple, getting treasure like game, like this is it. This game is great. Phantom Abyss on the Steam store for the price of $18.74 is a steal. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Two great games today, ladies and gentlemen, that we were able to take a look at and play. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel where you can see some gameplay footage of some of these games. Always at youtube.com/Prush Network. Let us know what you think there. You can see a ton of things. as well as all around the Preach Network. You can listen to our friend Glenn. He's at From the Crypt on Twitter, and he's got that as his show. Also, It Came from Cherry Hill. Me, I'm at Seth Trad. You can catch us all the time here on the Switch It Up Show and the Preach Network. And, ladies and gentlemen, if any of that got boring for you, I got to remind you that you can always switch it up.